Imagine a smartphone that doesn't just meet expectations but quietly shatters them. The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra could be that very device, a phone designed not only to refine but to redefine the meaning of a flagship in 2026. Samsung has always used its Ultra series as a showcase of what's possible, but this year the rumors, leaks, and inside reports suggest something bigger than incremental change. The S26 Ultra is being described as a bold step into the next era of smartphones, combining raw performance with design elegance and some truly cutting-edge technology. Before we dive deeper, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel Tech Insights so that you can get notified on daily tech updates. At the heart of the S26 Ultra sits what many are calling the most powerful chip ever in a Samsung device. We're talking about Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, a processor that's already making headlines for its blistering speed. Performance cores are expected to clock as high as 4.66 GHz, while Samsung's exclusive partnership could bring an overclocked version hitting nearly 4.74 GHz. That's not just fast for a smartphone, it's a performance level approaching entry-level desktops. Pair that with a GPU running at 1.2 GHz and you suddenly have a device capable of handling console-grade gaming, smooth 8K video editing, and AI tasks without breaking a sweat. And unlike some previous generations where heat was the enemy, Samsung is expected to implement a massive next-gen vapor chamber cooling system. This isn't just about raw numbers. It's about sustained performance without throttling, making the S26 Ultra a true powerhouse for demanding users. But what good is power without endurance? That's where the new battery technology might truly set the S26 Ultra apart. Rumors suggest Samsung is moving toward stacked battery design, the same concept used in electric vehicles, which allows more energy to be stored in smaller, slimmer cells. If true, the S26 Ultra could pack an impressive 5,500 battery while maintaining a thickness of just 7 mm. That combination, thin design and big capacity, has long been the holy grail of smartphone engineering. Charging speeds are also rumored to finally take a leap forward. After years of sticking with 45W charging, Samsung may finally move into the 60W or even 65W territory. If that's the case, charging from 0 to full could take nearly half the time, addressing one of the biggest complaints users have had with Galaxy flagships. Combine that with wireless charging and reverse charging, and the S26 Ultra becomes a reliable all-day companion with far less downtime. Design-wise, Samsung seems ready to push for a sleeker, more premium aesthetic. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to be thinner, lighter, and just a bit taller than its predecessor. Early render leaks show slimmer bezels and a slightly wider screen, making the device feel more immersive without becoming unwieldy in the hand. Samsung is reportedly using COE OLED, color filter on encapsulation, technology to make the display more efficient, sharper, and brighter. The upgrade will not just improve visuals but also reduce power draw, giving users longer screen on time with the same battery. At nearly 6.9 inches, this display will once again be the star attraction for streaming, gaming, and productivity. Now let's talk cameras, because this is where Samsung knows it needs to deliver something dramatic. The S25 Ultra already impressed with its 200MP main sensor, but the S26 Ultra is rumored to take that a step further with a new Sony-made 31.1-inch CMOS sensor, paired with an even larger f1.4 aperture. What does this mean in practice? Simply put, much better low-light photography. A larger aperture lets in significantly more light, allowing night photos to look sharper, cleaner, and far more detailed. For daylight shooting, rumors suggest Samsung may even introduce a dual-aperture system similar to the Galaxy S10, giving photographers more flexibility in various lighting conditions. The telephoto lens is expected to see a bump from 10p to 20p, while keeping the beloved 10x optical zoom feature. AI will also play a bigger role this year with faster scene recognition, real-time HDR, and multi-frame fusion technology for videos. That could mean capturing cinematic 4K clips with DSLR-level quality straight from your pocket. Software will also see significant improvements, with One UI 8 based on Android 16. Samsung is rumored to be doubling down on AI across the entire experience. Features could include real-time offline translation for multiple languages, adaptive wallpapers that shift based on time of day or even your mood, and proactive suggestions that adjust phone settings before you even think of them. For instance, dimming brightness before bedtime, enabling silent mode when your calendar shows a meeting, or automatically adjusting refresh rate based on your battery percentage. This level of on-device intelligence not only enhances convenience but also makes the S26 Ultra feel like a phone that understands its user. Storage and memory configurations are also getting a bump. While the S25 out at 12GB of RAM for most regions, the S26 Ultra is widely expected to offer a 16GB option alongside 1TB of storage for power users. This aligns with Samsung's push for its Ultra to be a genuine productivity machine capable of replacing laptops for many everyday tasks. The RAM itself will reportedly use a new version of LPDDR5X, offering faster speeds of up to 10.7GB per second while consuming 20% less power. That makes multitasking smoother, gaming more fluid, and overall performance more efficient. Now, let's consider the lineup changes. Samsung is rumored to shake up its 26 series branding. Instead of the familiar Plus and Ultra, we may see the return of the Edge branding, with the S26 Edge replacing the Plus model, and a possible S26 Pro becoming the new base version. This kind of restructuring shows Samsung experimenting with product identity, possibly trying to create clearer distinctions between each tier. Whether this sticks or not will likely depend on market reception, but one thing is certain. The S26 Ultra remains the crown jewel of the lineup. Pricing, as always, will be on the premium side. Current leaks point to a starting price around first $300, keeping it in line with last year's model but offering far more under the hood. For the base Galaxy S26, prices may start closer to $800, while the Edge variant could hit $1,000. Launch is expected in January 2026, consistent with Samsung's typical release cycle. If these prices hold, the Ultra will continue to be one of the most expensive mainstream Android flagships, but also one of the most capable. So, should you upgrade? That depends on where you're coming from. If you already own the S25 Ultra, the S26 Ultra might feel more like a refinement than a revolution. But if you're using anything older, or if you're the kind of person who demands cutting-edge innovation, this might be the year to finally make the leap. Between the stacked battery technology, overclocked Snapdragon performance, upgraded Sony sensor, and smarter AI-driven One UI, the S26 Ultra is shaping up to be Samsung's boldest device in years. The leaks we've seen so far suggest Samsung is no longer just iterating. It's quietly preparing to set a new standard for Android smartphones. And with every week bringing fresh reports, new renders, and unexpected rumors, one thing's for sure: the S26 Ultra will be one of the most exciting smartphones to watch in 2026.